This is Keedox larger version of their selfie stick. In this case, this one has the locking mechanisms, as you can see here. But included with this stick is a carrying case, the charging cable, and of course the phone clamp that's extendable to larger size phones. Uh, I've tried out over the last few months several of different brands of selfie sticks, as this seems to be the hot item for this year. And, for me personally, the Keedox smaller version was the one that was the most comfortable for me. So this is Keedox's latest version that they come out here with, which adds some positive, some things to it, and some improvements, but also, a couple things that are maybe not as good, at least to me. In this case, this particular stick shrinks only to about 17 inches in length. It extends to about 47 inches. It's a little heavier than, of course, the smaller ones, but I mean, not too bad. But I mean, with it being longer, it's not as easy of a travel companion as, say, the smaller sticks. Now, with that being said, the metal of the extensions is sturdier and seems to be a thicker and more durable and less bendable metal than the smaller versions of Keedox and the other brands as well. The locking mechanisms are nice and sturdy. They flip out, and then you can extend the extensions just like that, and they lock in place. They're very strong. They work well, although they do stick out a little bit as compared to like the screw-in type of locking mechanisms. But these do a good job. You lock them in place at any place along the extension, and they stay. It doesn't move. So that's really a really good improvement as compared to Keedox's smaller stick, which has no type of locking mechanisms. It also adds the angle locking mechanism here, which the smaller stick doesn't have, which I think is an improvement for sure. But the one thing that this stick takes a step back to me, as opposed to the smaller version of the Keedox, is the handle. The rubber handle, as you can see, has a ridge design, and I thought Keedox's previous design on their smaller stick is much more comfortable than this ridge design. They went with what a lot of their competitors are doing, which is this ridge design, which is okay, but I really like their previous handle. It was way more comfortable. The other thing here is, here's the shutter button, which isn't marked, by the way, and is almost flush with the handle itself. And I think for me, it would be a little bit harder to find that button. Like, for example, if you're in a dark concert or whatever, and you're trying to snap a picture, because it just doesn't stand out. I think that should stand out a little bit more. Their button on this smaller version was a little bit easier to deal with and easier to find, I think. With those differences aside, though, this thing works almost identically to the smaller version, if not identically, in the other brands. I use an Android phone for these. But I mean, you got the on-off button and the charging on the bottom, like all of these sticks tend to have. The phone clamp is extendable to various sizes, so you can put larger or smaller phones on it. Charging works just the same as all the others. It's fairly quick, pairs very quickly with the phone. No issues with that. And works for, taking pictures. I've had no issues with that as well. Overall, this larger version has some things that Keedox has improved upon and done better. I really like the locking mechanisms, the angle lock. It's a much sturdier device overall. But also, I don't like the less comfortable handle and the almost hidden shutter button that its smaller brother version does better, I think. But if you want a longer and a sturdier stick, and you don't mind it being longer and having to carry around a longer stick, then this is a good choice. I give this 4.5 stars.